It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show, and it is Thursday, February 6th. This is the first Thursday of the month. Yes, first Thursday of the month, and this is the Brad and John Show. I am Brad, he is John, and together we make BJ's, right?
Whoa, Brad, easy there, killer. We're already getting risque text at 7:25 a.m. You better be careful with that language.
You know, it's interesting. I sometimes get requests for various drops that I've created for the show, and I got a request for this one. John, will you essentially let me do this one real quick?
I'll indulge you all day long, Brad.
Here we go.
In British English, this is said as boy, boy. In American English, however, it is normally said as buoy, buoy, buoy. Buoy in American English versus boy in British English, and now you know it all.
See, that's important stuff. We have to get that out.
Yeah, it's the difference between boy and buoy and Baba Booey. So those are three very different radio things.
Okay. Yesterday, I talked about how I thought that Trump had knocked it out of the ballpark with his idea about making, the Gaza Strip into the Riviera of the Mediterranean. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, the Riviera is already on the Mediterranean. Isn't the Riviera, the French Riviera, isn't it on the coast of the Mediterranean? If I know my geography correct, isn't that already the way it is?
But the only important Riviera is the Redneck Riviera at Lake of the Ozarks. But go ahead, yeah. Okay.
I got some pushback on that from a couple different people. And the interesting part of this is, there's one interesting aspect of this, is that, and if you notice, there's been a little pushback this morning by Marco Rubio. You know the twist in this story?
No, I don't know.
Trump said they would relocate the current Palestinians to other countries, okay? The interesting part of that is the other countries want nothing to do with the Palestinians, because if you know your history, the Palestinians are never happy no matter where they're at. They're never happy. Yeah. It's sort of like some people I know, they're never happy, okay? If you give them $10, they want 20, okay? So Marco Rubio this morning came out and twisted that just a little bit, or massaged it, however you look at it, and he said they would relocate them to other countries and then they would bring them back to the new and improved Gaza Strip. So what do you think of that?
So wait a minute, let me get this right. Take them out, put them somewhere for a while, like maybe like when you're cleaning your garage and you put everything out and then you hose it down and then you put it back.
Right.
So remove the Palestinians. Right. Clean up the area and then bring them back.
Well, after you got them all cleaned up, the place would be all cleaned up and have all sorts of nice places to live and have all high-rise condos people being. And essentially, the idea being is that they would have a new place that they could live and work, because they could get jobs at all the fancy schmancy, hotels.
Oh, nice. Now, in the interim, who wants to take the Palestinians?
Nobody. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. See, that seems like the catch.
Yeah, nobody wants the Palestinians. And when I'm saying, people are going to go, I can't believe he said that. Look at your history. There've already been situations where the Palestinians have been relocated to other countries. It's just like, okay, let's say you live in Ladue, okay? And let's say that you find out that there's a family that lives someplace like in Festus or something like that. They live in a mobile home, okay? And they win the Missouri lottery. They win Powerball. They win $1.2 billion. And you live in Ladue and you find out that those people are not happy with living in Festus anymore. And they want to move to Ladue. But they just don't want to live in a regular house. They want to bring their double wides to Ladue, okay?
Yeah.
The people of Ladue are going to go, oh, not in my neighborhood you don't. No double wides allowed. It's the same thing. You can take the double wide out of Festus, but you can't take the double wide out of the Festus people. Get what I'm saying?
I do. It's like the guy that was out there and he was shooting at some food. And up from the ground came a bubbling crude oil, that is.
Right. And what they'll want is they want to tow their double wides into Ladue, and then they want to put in a cement pond. You know what I'm saying? So
I know exactly. Or one of those horse troughs that up in Spanish Lake, we used to call them swimming pools, that I thought that we had a cool swimming pool until about 5 years ago, and I saw they were actually horse feeding troughs. Thanks, Dad.
You talking about the big galvanized tubs? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You're lucky I would never have one of those. My parents wouldn't allow that. I wanted so bad one of those blow up little kiddie pools. We couldn't have one. My mom would not approve that at all. She wouldn't approve that at all. Anyway, so you don't like my idea about but no, necessarily the idea is let's rephrase that. You can take the Palestinians out of Palestine, but you can't take the Palestine out of the Palestinians. Get what I'm saying? That's why the other countries don't want it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also think that this is a good time as Steve Ehlmann winds down. Why not put him in Klondike Park?
Well, see, once again, I said my idea. Pick them all up and move them to Nevada. The federal government owns.
Yeah. I mean, it's a similar climate.
Yes,
right?
it's hot. They wouldn't have the ocean there, but once again, maybe you can put them. Here's what you could do: you could put them on the shores of Lake Mead, and being that I am the guy that watches the Lake Mead water levels like crazy. And I haven't talked about that. Have I talked about so far this month in February?
Yeah, definitely this month. But no, I guess not, because it was at the end of January. Now, Brad, as a callback to another one of your stories that you told this week, the idea of what if you took a bunch of Palestinians and you put them in Nevada? It's kind of like a religious conference at a hotel where they wait to get the alcohol until they're in their room. What would you do if you had a bunch of Palestinians in a state that allows prostitution?
In Nevada?
Yeah, like wouldn't you think that the brothel industry would be happy about that?
Well, sure they would. And once again, tax it. See, this is my crazy thing. If people thought like me, this country would be a lot better. Okay, how do you fix the illegal immigrant thing? You greet them at the border. Okay, you embed them with a GPS chip, so you know exactly where they're at all the time, and you say to them, okay, look. We don't care what those cartel guys said to you. You're going to pay the federal government $1,000 every month. And we know where you're at because we're going to put this chip in your body and we know where you're at. If you don't show up at the official immigrant payment station every month with $1,000, you're going to be on the next plane to Gitmo. You got it?
And yeah, that's pretty. And you give them a pager. Don't forget, you give them a pager.
Right. You give them a pager, and if they screw up, you say, or we'll page you. We'll put you on the Benjamin Netanyahu pager list, and we'll page you. And once again, don't miss that payment, because it's be like for example, like I know about this too much because one of my clients had this. He's no longer around, but he ran a used car business. Do you know about if you buy like a car from the buy here, pay here lots, you know what I'm saying? But hey, we finance. You know what they do?
Yeah.
They equip it with a remote GPS lock. Do you know about this?
No, that's a great idea though, because think of how many people just run off on that.
Right. Well, but what it does is if you don't make your payment, they turn your car off. So
yeah, it's brilliant.
Right. So once again, get some guy from a buy here, pay here lot, put him in. What is it? Is it DHS? What's the department that handles the immigrants? Is that DHS department?
Yeah, that would be DHS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put that guy, find a used car guy that ran a buy here, pay here lot, and put him in charge of that. And, you give each one of the illegals a pager and an embedded chip, and essentially said, okay, we're not going to turn your car off. We're just going to turn you off. So you better make sure you pay your $1,000 every month. Now, think about that for a minute. They claim that under Biden there were like 10 million illegals. What's 10 million? Let's take 10 million and move the decimal points 3 places. Doesn't that give us 10 billion?
Yeah, yeah. You mean like in terms of a lot of money, right?
On a monthly basis. See,
that would be now it would also. You do have to factor in the disruption to the night shift at El Maguey.
But you wouldn't need Elon Musk to do all this Doge stuff, because you'd have so much money coming in from the illegals. And once again, and then when you get to the point where it's like us with the FCC fees. Once upon a time, you got your FCC license with the radio station, you were good to go. Now the FCC charges every year for regulatory fees. Okay, so not only do they pay $1,000 a month, but each year they have to pay $5,000 regulatory fees to the DHS. And not only that, their income tax rate, when they're working at El Maguey, or El Maguey, however you pronounce it, their tax rate is 80% on the federal level, okay? So then people, hey, come on in, you immigrants, come on in. Yeah, we got lots of jobs. Then we wouldn't have to worry about, we'd have so much money we wouldn't know what to do with. And matter of fact, and if, let's say the state started to do this, Mike Keogh would say, And due to my leadership here in the state of Missouri, we're making so much money off the illegal immigrants that none of you have to pay income tax. As a matter of fact, we're going to be like Alaska, and every year we're going to give you a dividend payment for living here in Missouri. Yeah.
That would be fantastic, Brad. Now, the idea, though, of paying for something like an FCC license and then paying again, that would never happen. That would be like buying a car in St. Louis County and then having to pay personal property tax on it every year. Like, that would never happen.
Well, if we see, once again, I had this discussion with somebody yesterday who about the Bill Eigel thing. Bill Eigel is barking up the wrong tree, okay? Bill Eigel should move to St. Louis City or St. Louis County because they need help. St. Charles County doesn't need any help. Things are just great right now. Things are wonderful. Why do you need a bull in a china shop like Bill Eigel? But you do need the bull in the china shop. He should move into the city. I think he should move to where my parents used to live, off near Fairgrounds Park off of West Florissant. And,
that'd be great for him. Yeah, he'd love that.
Right, move down there. And he's a military veteran, so he knows how to handle firearms if he needs to do that. But then have him run against Tashara, and essentially his campaign promise would be, I will put a snowplow in every driveway. Every driveway will have a snowplow. So when it snows, you won't have to wait for the city to come. You'll have your very own snowplow. He would be elected, bang, like that. Right? Like
and he would do, first of all, I love that idea. And second of all, you remember one of his earliest brushes with national prominence was when he had those flamethrowers. Why couldn't he just take a flamethrower up and down, pick a neighborhood like Walnut Park, and just go up and down with a flamethrower melting the snow?
Well, no, but that would be included with the snowplow. The flamethrower would be.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that would help melt the ice.
No.
I don't know though. I was thinking that the city wasn't doing so well, but they've handled the Rams money in the last week with such marksman-like efficiency.
Remember?
I don't know. I don't think they need Eigel anymore.
We talked about that, and you were surprised that I said that the negotiations had blown up again. Remember, you thought that had settled, and now it's unsettled again. And remember?
Oh yeah, Brad. And Brad, when I said that I thought they figured that out, I was completely sarcastic. Like I read the updates every day.
But the other thing was,
so and yesterday didn't go very well either. So like this week has not been a good one.
But see, that's where Bill Eigel comes in because not only does he put a snowplow in everybody's driveway, and in the back of that truck is a flamethrower which will melt the ice on your sidewalk. See, the flamethrower is for your sidewalk. So you'd melt the ice on your sidewalk. Then
I see. Okay.
Then you get into your snowplow truck and essentially you plow yourself to work. Simple as that. And not only that Bill Eigel can also say, now that everybody in the city has a snowplow and we're giving that to you, you can make money. You can do like a side hustle. You can drive out to St. Louis County and you can charge people for digging them out of the snowstorm.
Oh, yeah. Now, first of all, I don't want people from the city coming to St. Louis County, so let's just be clear about that. But secondly, one of the attractions would be they wouldn't have to pay a 1% earnings tax if they did their work out here, right?
Matter of fact, what Bill Eigel's going to do is they're going to get a 1% dividend because of the fact that they're going to take that Rams money and they're just going to leave it in a interest-bearing account. Matter of fact, they're going to let John Combest handle the investment on that because John Combest.
I love that.
And matter of fact,
I'm going to team up with Mike McGee.
And John's going to come on. As a matter of fact, there's going to be on the new radio station KSTL, which is going to be run by John Combest. Every morning he's going to come on and he's going to say, "Okay, I just made the city another $2 million yesterday because I reinvested our float into a fund that I found out about on Hedgeye, and all you guys this month you get a 2% dividend." How am I doing, John? Am I making any sense yet?
I think that whatever performance-enhancing drug you've been on the last month, I'm just glad that Medicare covers it.
See, what I'm doing is actually I'm sending the tape or the recording of this to the to the Trump administration because I want to show that he's not the only guy that think out of the box. And Trump is going to hear the show and he's going to say, "Man, that Brad, he's got great ideas. We're bringing him here to D.C." Now, can I tell you something right now? I will give you. Let's start off C block. I will give you the ultimate Trump thing. If Trump really had, appendages to his body that he had to use a wheelbarrow to haul around in, this is what he would do. And this,
I can't wait to hear
this would set the world on fire. It would set it on fire, okay? And
I can't wait.
I will give you a hint. He should take a cue from the states. And
Okay.
you're going to say,
that's our teaser.
you're going to say, what does that mean? You'll find out in Charlie Block, which is coming up right after these important messages. And I don't want to screw up the break again, which I won't. And here I go.